Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great.
What is something you found out late in life that you should have known earlier but you just didn't? For me, it was that cotton grew on a bush. For some reason, I thought that cotton was like grown in a lab or something, so I was very confused to find out it literally is on a bush.
If you are a black kid from a low income background and you have good grades, decent grades, you're comfortable around white people, you need to apply to liberal arts colleges. Chances are, you will leave out of that college with less than $10,000 in debt. I did. Some of my friends have no debt because the school literally has so much money, so much large endowments that they will pay for you to go to school. And they want black kids because they're under scrutiny for being racist, so they want to show that they have a lot of black kids in the school. State schools don't have that problem. A lot of them don't. Okay? Here's a list of them. Apply to them, and chances are they will give you a fire-ass financial aid package. You will leave out of college with less than $10,000 in debt. I've seen it happen over and over again. It makes me sick that people don't know the game.
I found out that you don't just have to have a 9-to-5 job in order to make money. In fact, when I was growing up, I thought that making $100,000 a year was like this huge accomplishment and pretty much the pinnacle of success. I found out that there's actually 18 million millionaires in the United States. It's not actually that crazy to become one. So I guess the purpose of me saying this is if you're in a small town like I was when I grew up, I'm telling you right now, you can create whatever kind of a life that you want. You don't have to create this crazy technology that's gonna revolutionize the world. You can probably start something you're just passionate about and live life on your terms.
I thought 100% that when they said that there's a 30% chance of rain, that it meant that there was a 30% chance that it was going to rain. I never, ever, ever knew that it meant that there's 100% it's going to rain and it's going to be in 30% of your area. So in a way, there's a 30% chance that you're going to get rain, but it's going to rain. It's only going to cover 30% of the area. So like if it says 100%, it means your entire area that you're asking about, your zip code, whatever, like it's going to blanket the whole thing. Am I the only one who didn't know this till they were grown?
That apparently excruciating cramps and a super heavy flow isn't normal. Apparently since I was 9 years old, my brain told me that soaking through a ultra tampon every hour or so for the first 2 days of my period wasn't normal. Go figure. So I told my friends and they were like, you should get on birth control. And I was like, all right, I'll get on birth control. And what did it do? Made things worse. So yay, American healthcare system. Anyways, so I did some research, found this girl who was talking about Dr. Sabi, Don't Kill Me America, and found these herbs, these holistic herbs that Mother Nature provides that helps with cramps, made my pain go away, made my cramps go away, had fibroids, they went away, and so yeah, now my periods don't suck. And so if you had super bad cramps or super bad periods, go to the link in my bio. I sell the herbs now. Yay.
Like your family just because they're family. The most gossiping type of people are your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, basically people in your family. And usually when you have something good going on in your life, they usually hate on you for that. And especially in the Hispanic community, you could announce that you lost weight and you're proud of it, and the first thing they'll tell you is, se cree tanto, which means in English, oh, this guy thinks he's all that. There's a lot more examples I could go about, but yeah, the most toxic people usually are your family. When I was a younger person, I thought all family was good family. As I grew up, I started realizing with family like this, who needs enemies?
No one knows what they're doing. Everyone is just making stuff up as they go along. That thing that you haven't done or tried because you're like, oh, those people, they know stuff that I don't know. No, they don't. Other than like pilots or doctors and probably some other jobs. But if you want to be like in the entertainment industry or you want to do something creative or you want to be an entrepreneur, fake it till you make it.
That only about a quarter of those with the vagina actually orgasm with vaginal penetration alone. Like movies lie.
Hi y'all, so I get these really bad big marble feeling pimples on my chin and cheek, like either during that time of the month or sometimes they'll just pop up at random. A couple years ago I saw a video where they said to take like a hand towel, bunch it up into like to make a little point. You get as hot of tap water as you can stand, as your skins can stand. You kind of wet the tip of that. You find the pimple, you place it on there and you push for about a minute, maybe less, and And I found that by doing this, it either reduces that pimple by like a fraction of the size, or sometimes it completely gets rid of it by the next morning. So I hope that helps y'all.
During a traumatic event, the part of the brain that processes speech and memory goes offline. It shuts down. So a lot of trauma survivors will carry guilt and shame around not being able to yell for help or speak up for themselves or fight back, but it's just their biology taking over. Another important thing here is that trauma survivors are often not believed because they can't remember events in order, or they're fuzzy on the details. But that's because, again, that part of the brain that processes memory is offline. These memories are stored in the body, so it's important to take a somatic approach to healing, meaning that you're not just doing talk therapy, but also adding in physical therapy along with it, so that you're more able to access those traumatic memories and get the healing you need.
Rich people negotiate down their medical bills, and you should too. Let me show you how. When you get your itemized medical bill, go to Fair Health Consumer or Healthcare Blue Book and figure out what those procedures and services actually should cost. And then here's the key: regardless of if you can afford to pay the bill or not, always make sure to call your medical provider to negotiate the cost. Call, don't email your medical provider, and politely ask them questions that force them to tell you about the waivers, discounts, and relief plans available. Hi, would you be able to tell me about which of these fees could be waived? Additionally, do you offer discounts for financial hardship? Check to see if they have payment plans available, and you can feel free to mention something like, oh, I'd love to pay this bill in full, but I would need some of these fees to be waived in order to do so. This helps incentivize your medical office to cut you a break if the questions earlier didn't work. And most medical practices will set up a no-interest payment plan if you need one.
Don't let your bill go to collections, it'll tank your credit score.
There's nothing wrong with MSG. It's not going to make you sick. It is totally safe to eat. Those are all lies rooted in, you guessed it, racism. Now, back in the 1960s, this thing emerged called Chinese restaurant syndrome. Sounding racist yet? So, Chinese restaurant syndrome was when people would get headaches, skin flushing, sweating, symptoms like that after eating at Chinese restaurants. Now, it's called MSG syndrome complex. MSG is monosodium glutamate, and notice that they tacked complex on at the end of it. That is because it is entirely in people's heads. There is no science to back up MSG causing these symptoms, but people were just so ready to believe that Chinese restaurants would make them sick. And if I haven't convinced you that it's racist yet, remember that monosodium glutamate is only ever an issue and people are up in arms when it's in Asian cuisine. Not when it's in their chips, their condiments, their frozen dinners, their soups. It's everywhere.
Travel hacking. I thought I could only afford to travel after university when I get a full-time job, but after discovering travel hacking, I was able to go to 20 different countries for a price of $1,000. Check out my page.
Harms the regulation of metabolism, but according to clinical dietitian Haley Robinson, it also causes the body to go into survival mode, which makes the body and your cells crave food, usually unhealthy foods, even more than they would have if you hadn't skipped the meal.
Your period is fake. Okay, if you are on hormonal birth control, your period is fake. How did I not know this? I was 26 years old when I found out that the period you get when you're on hormonal birth control, it's not a period. It's a withdrawal bleed. It is a simulated period. It doesn't need to be there. They have been deemed medically unnecessary. How did I not know? Nobody told me. Not in health class. Not my doctor when they put me on birth control. It's fake. You don't need it. You know the only reason it exists is because when they were creating the pill for the first time, they knew it was going to be a hard sell to the Catholics. So, to appeal to the good Christian ladies with their good Christian values and their good Christian churches, they threw in a period. Medically unnecessary.
I saw this yesterday on Twitter, but I just found out that life sentences are 25 years. I was really out here thinking that they were in jail for the rest of their life. And when the judge was like, I'm sentencing you to 3 life sentences, I was like, oh shit, that's petty.
I probably shouldn't say this because it makes me sound really stupid, but I thought we lived on the inside of the earth until I was too old. But in my defense, I just hadn't thought about it before. Like, if I'd actually thought about it, I would have realised that it was stupid. But I was in a geography lesson and we were learning about the crust and the mantle and everything, and then it clicked in my head. I was like, oh, that is actually embarrassing. I don't know why I said that.
Or to buy a house and neither can your best friend. You can form something called a joint venture agreement. This way you could both buy a house for 50% of the money that you would typically need. partners, you guys could move into a duplex and have renters paying your mortgage on the other side. Now you're both living for free, and in a couple years you'll be financially free. So send this to them and follow for more.
I don't even want to admit this, but nobody's seeing my videos anyways, so I'm going to. So this picture came up on my Facebook a little over a year ago. And, you know, at the bottom it says, I used to think they were the same person. And I was like, oh my God, I thought they were too. And I shared it and I said that. And then I get a call from my wife saying, you need to delete that post. And I'm like, why? She said, you look like an idiot. I seriously thought they were different people.
I went to a lot of health food stores as a kid, and a lot of times there would be somebody in there that just smelled bad. It was just like this one scent. So I always thought that was the scent people had if they didn't shower. And then I was in an acting class as an adult, and we had a guest speaker who came in and smelled that way. And one of my classmates goes, oh, I love the smell of patchouli. It's just so earthy and, you know, whatever compliment she gave it. And internally I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's an intentional scent. They want to smell that way. They've been showering this whole time.
So guys, don't forget to leave your opinion down under the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification. Anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. Thank you for watching to the end, and stay blessed. Bye.